So I feel like I've been in a bit of like a maybe a growth phase or a growth stage in life. You kind of hit little, mental barriers along the way. I feel like in life, or at least that's the way that I have felt about a lot of my life is, you get past one mental barrier and then, down the road you get stuck again and you're kind of in a bit of a rut and to be honest, for me, I've been in a rut for a pretty long time, or at least I had been, and I feel like I'm kind of starting to get out of the rut, and maybe some of those reasons are that I've recently decided to go to therapy and get on medication and stuff like that, which has definitely helped 100%. But I don't feel like you can necessarily force mental growth, like the sort of enlightenment that you get in life from experience and from failure and from success. And I've had a lot of failure and I've had a lot of success, but I feel like for maybe the last year or so I've kind of been in this limbo phase where I've just been kind of doing the same thing over and over again, and I've finally gotten to a point where I will not force myself to operate the way that I think people want me to operate. And that has caused me to kind of get out of this like rut that I've been in for a while. Because I've talked about this before, but I'm a bit of a people pleaser. And so, for example, like if, I want to hang out with a friend or something like that, and they're like, oh, but do you want to hang out with these other friends? And I don't necessarily want to hang out with those other people, but I definitely want to hang out with that one person. In the past, I would have just been like, yeah, it's totally cool. But I think now, like, if I'm really, like, and there are some exceptions for this, like, sometimes you just need to, like, suck it up and do it, but for me, I feel like I've gotten to a point where I'm able to be like, no, I don't want to hang out with those people because it's just gonna take more energy for me. I'm a bit of an introvert, and there's like a very limited amount of people that I actually like can stay energetic around for long periods of time, and so yeah, I've just been kind of learning to say no and like operate the way that I want to operate. Another example of that is like in this, this is a bit more of a personal example, but, in this, well, in the music industry, I suppose, I don't even know if you could really consider me a part of the music industry, but I make music or whatever. And in this industry, a lot of people like you to write with other people and to record with other people and to produce with other people and stuff like that. For me personally, like, I just don't work well with other people. It's just like, I can't do it. I don't know what it is about me, but I'm a bit of a control freak about everything that I do. And so, for a long time, I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'll try working with other people. We'll make it work. At some point, I'll find my people that are like, my people and my niche and whatever. And I tried for like 2 years legit. And I honestly feel like this is a big part of why I was in this big rut for 2 years. But I was like just trying to like make myself work the way that I don't work. I was trying to make myself work the way that other people work and the way that, people think it should work, instead of just doing it my own way. And, there's definitely compromises that you have to make throughout your life. But I do think that, like, the core components of at least who I am are things that I'm not willing to get rid of and not willing to compromise. I'm not saying that, like, make excuses for the fact that you're introverted or make excuses for the fact that you don't want to be around people. I'm just saying, like, some people just genuinely are better off doing things the way that they do them. So if you're an extrovert and you like being around people a lot, then like just do that. Or if you don't like being around people that much, then just do that. Like, you can be comfortable being whoever you are, regardless of what you like. And in the past, I probably would have said that one way or the other is better, but I think that um, I think that you should just do you and not force yourself to operate in any sort of capacity outside of the bounds of what you think you should operate as. And that's not to say that like you shouldn't strive to grow, but I think that you'll probably know when it's time for you to, force yourself out of that bubble, and it'll feel right. It won't feel wrong. And that's something that I've learned over the last few months as well, is that like when it feels right, it's like generally the right thing to do, and you just kind of have a gut instinct about it. And I've been really trying to like tune into that gut instinct about myself. But yeah, I guess the general moral of this conversation was just that you shouldn't have to force yourself to operate or run your life the way that other people think is the correct way, because there's no correct way, and we're all just trying to figure it out on our own, and nobody knows what they're doing, so is what it is, right? Anyways, also I just want to thank you guys for the support on the last single, Falling For You. Really appreciate it. So that's about it. Love ya.